First up, we get you updates from the state of West Bengal, where clearly the numbers that we are showing right now show an upward trend of over 3,000 cases reported on a daily basis from the state of West Bengal. In fact, only yesterday we reported about how there is a drastic decline in the testing numbers. Very conveniently ahead of the polling, the testing was reduced almost by about 4 lakh. The testing that was happening to the tune of 9 lakhs per day had come down to about 4 to 5 lakhs per day. And with that, of course, now we are looking at the other issue of vaccine shortage and the testing that is currently going on, and to what extent. In fact, our team visited Kolkata's largest COVID center, Bengal Hospital, to find out what's the status of the tests over there and also what is happening in the vaccination front. Let's listen in to Tanimal's report.
We are standing right now at Bengal Hospital, which is the largest COVID center here in Kolkata. It has roughly around 700 beds, and at the moment what we are being told is over 500 beds are already occupied. Where I am standing right now is that part of the hospital where vaccination process is underway, and they have in fact allowed walk-in registrations. So people are coming in, showing their Aadhaar cards and getting token numbers. But if you just see the number of people who have gathered over here, there are at least close to around 200 people who are in this particular area right now. They have all been waiting. Some people, they were not willing to speak on camera, but some people were in fact telling us that they have been waiting since, at least 3-4 hours, and they have been given a number, a token number, basis which patients, rather people who are to be vaccinated, their names are being called out, and they are going to go in for their jab. But clearly, since there is a COVID surge in the city, in the state, once again, people are not taking any chances and they are here to get their vaccine dose. I've been speaking to the hospital authorities over here who say that there's been a surge which they are seeing in terms of people coming up, patients coming up over the past 2 weeks or so, and because of which there is also renewed concern in the city, following which there are people who are coming up to get their vaccine jab. At the moment, what the hospital authorities are saying is that they have a few beds available and they are scaling up the infrastructure as more and more patients are coming up. But for the moment, there are, of course, fresh concerns in the city once again because of the number of cases which are being reported. At least 2,000 cases which have been reported recently in the city, and even big hospitals like this, like the Bengal Hospital here in Kolkata, are reporting a spike in terms of the patients who are coming up every day. And clearly at the moment you can see that has also led to an increase in the number of people who are coming up to get vaccinated. What the hospital authorities are telling me, at least 500 to 600 people at this particular center alone are getting vaccinated on a daily basis. And at this point in time itself, I can tell you there are at least 200 people who are waiting to get their jab.
Let's bring you a couple of case studies. We spoke to a couple of people and to understand how exactly they are going about this, especially those who have come in for testing. Abhijit Nair, with a plaster on his leg, has been waiting in the queue since 9 a.m. to get his daughter and wife tested. He says there's been chaos on the ground with no clarity from authorities on where exactly they should go. Caught up in the hustle, he's uncertain as to when his family will finally get jabbed. So this is a case of a person waiting to get the vaccine that we are tracking, Abhijit Nair, who's been waiting in the queue since 9 a.m. Let's listen in to his ordeal.
We are at the Bengal Hospital in Kolkata, which is one of the largest COVID centers, in fact the largest COVID center in the city, and the number of people you can see who have gathered here for COVID tests is also pretty high. As we have in fact been reporting that Kolkata, Bengal has in fact seen a COVID surge of late, and which is why there's an increasing number of people who have been hospitalized. आप अपना टेस्ट करने के लिए आए?
नहीं ना, मैं छोटा बच्ची का और मेरा बीवी का, क्योंकि छोटा बच्ची मेरा 2 साल की है, वो उड़ीसा जाएगी पैर की ट्रीटमेंट के लिए। वो अभी यहाँ पे ही है, वो विद प्लास्टर के साथ यहाँ पे खड़ी है बच्ची। रिक्वेस्ट भी किया गया, मेरे साथ छोटी बच्ची है, उसका अभी रिपोर्ट अभी कल रात को ही पता चला हम लोगों की बाहर स्टेट में जाने के लिए अभी रैपिड टेस्ट या फिर टेस्ट, वो जो भी टेस्ट है वो टेस्ट करना पड़ेगा। लेकिन अभी तक किसी ने, मैंने रिक्वेस्ट भी किया, मेरे साथ छोटी बच्ची है उसका टेस्ट करना होगा, तो बोला कि अब कोई रिक्वेस्ट डालने से अब कुछ नहीं होगा, आपको यहाँ पे खड़ा रहना पड़ेगा।
So that is the state of affairs over here. In fact, we have been noticing that because of the numbers, at the moment though the hospital authorities are telling us that the situation is under control, that the infrastructure according to them is enough. But nonetheless, you can see because the numbers are rising, that is also going to create fresh headaches for the hospital administration over here, who are dealing with an increase in the number of COVID cases and even the other services that they are providing in terms of testing and vaccination once again.
Similar cases as well happening there in other parts as well, where Sheikh Mubarak Hussain, another case of a person who comes all the way from Bardhaman district to collect a COVID test report of his relative at the same Bangur hospital in Kolkata, and his relative, a cancer patient, needs this report in order to get admission in the hospital. Little did he know that it is going to be such an arduous task for him to procure this particular report. It's been almost 2 days that he's been waiting, but there's no sign of the report yet. Let's listen in to what he had to go through.
We are outside Bangur Hospital, where there are people who are in fact waiting to get tested. This is in fact the largest COVID center, and there's testing here being conducted as well. But several people are complaining how they are not getting their reports on time. So this person has come from Bardhaman all the way in order. He has got the test done, but the report is still pending. রিপোর্ট এখনো দেয়নি। আপনি কতদিন ধরে ওয়েট করছেন?
আমি পরশু দিন বলছি, আমি তার আগের দিন এসেছি আমার পেশেন্ট নিয়ে চিত্তরঞ্জনে। ওখানে বললেন যে করোনা পরীক্ষা না হওয়া পর্যন্ত পেশেন্ট আপনার অ্যাডমিশন হবে না। ওখানে অনেক যাবতীয় টেস্ট হয়েছে, ডাক্তারবাবু এই জন্য অ্যাডমিশন করছেন না।
So ওটাকে এক্সপ্লেন করে দিই যে what he is saying is that he had come over here day before yesterday, got the test done because the test is needed for the patient. আপনার কে হয় যার টেস্ট করিয়েছেন? আপনার কে হয় যার টেস্ট করিয়েছেন? আপনার
পেশেন্টটা কে হয়?
হ্যাঁ,
আমার ছেলের শাশুড়ি।
ছেলের শাশুড়ি। Okay, so relative of his who basically needs that test in order to get admitted in another hospital, and that patient is a cancer patient. তো আপনার পেশেন্ট ক্যান্সার পেশেন্ট।
ক্যান্সার
তো
পেশেন্ট।
ওই রিপোর্টটা খুব জরুরি।
জরুরি।
What he has been told is that he is still coming now another day all the way from Bardhaman with the patient. The patient is waiting outside that hospital where she has to get admitted, but here he's not getting any clear answers. They are in fact now telling him you have to wait patiently. Your report has not come in yet. No idea that he's got as to how long that report will take. আপনাকে লাস্ট কি বলেছেন যে কেন রিপোর্ট দেরি হচ্ছে?
বললে আসে নাই।
এটাই বলেন।
হ্যাঁ।
Okay. So essentially what these people have in fact been told is that the reports, there are several reports which are pending. Now there was one of the hospital administration women who came over here and spoke to some of the people waiting outside and said that because of elections, because there are people from the hospital who are going out of town in order to vote, there are certain protocol in place because of elections for which even the test reports are getting delayed, probably at the lab level and even at the testing level. For that reason, the test reports are getting delayed, and people over here, like this gentleman, are waiting patiently for days now in order to get an answer as to whether the test is positive or negative.